From this to this.
You are all successful. Equally, each and every one of you here right now carries the same accountable success in your business, unless you choose otherwise.
So why have I chosen this next place of business to do my deep dive? You know, I love a business that has a niche. Sometimes the most common of businesses, or even generic of businesses, still have a niche that creates that micro attraction that adds to that ability to emotionally cost correctly. So I'm going to like another outdoor business. When I say outdoor business, it specializes in camping and van camping, tent camping, van camping. Now that business, the whole industry has dramatically grown these last 2 years, especially the last 12 months since restrictions have been lifted. And what we're seeing is, of course, is that, you know, the public, the UK saturated sales in camping, van life and caravan sales, and absolutely, and we're almost dried out stock. The whole van industry, van life industry is booming right now, and hopefully I might catch someone there. Or maybe they have a sneaky idea to maybe. So I'm going there because I'm wanting to get to understand the business more and how they've dealt with the restrictions, but also how they're dealing with the surge of new customers and new people wanting to come to the sites. The leisure, and not the leisure industry, but the camping industry, the caravan industry, the static caravan industry, you know, has reshaped itself. We've seen, you know, many of the larger static caravan sites who have been bought out, sold on through the pandemic, because they basically just couldn't cover the overheads, and it was either that or I suppose bankruptcy, who knows. There was a lot going on there. So my purpose on visiting this business today called Shell Island, and it's in a pocket of Wales, is so I can really get to understand how they've managed through this pandemic, but also how they're dealing with the surge of people wanting to, you know, stay in the country. You know? And yes, there's people wanting to go abroad too, but it's grown here, and we're seeing that the UK is becoming a very popular place for people to come from across the water. Also, now Shell Island is an island by the nature of its tide, rather than actually, I mean, you haven't physically got to get a boat to get there, or a ferry to get there, or you cross a bridge. But what happens is that you can only get in and out, and it's governed by the tide. So depending on the tide is actually whether you can travel across what is the tarmac road, bridged road. That's actually not bridge, but a bridge road that gets you from mainland to the island. So yeah, so let's get there. Let's continue this deep dive. Emotional costing in your business, and let's see if we can grab a couple of great interviews with different business niches while we're there. Happy days. So let's get out here. So I've arrived at Shell Island, one of the biggest camping outdoor facilities. When I say outdoor, camping and van opportunities in probably this country. So here I am. I'm going to spend a couple of days here, and I'm looking forward to experiencing, you know, what this business is about, and hopefully get to interview one of the owners, because this is a pretty big business, so I'm really excited. So let's go, let's enjoy it. So we're here, heading towards, I guess, my pitch, and find out where it is, or look as to where I want to stay and enjoy this outdoor business on Shell Island. So this is very similar to the last outdoor business that I experienced on the last video, and only of course on a much bigger scale. It's like outdoor on steroids. Yes, it's pretty vast, which is great, and they basically, there's no hard pitches, you just pick a spot. So I'm gonna pick somewhere a little isolated, so I can enjoy some think time for sure. So yeah, and then we're gonna finish off this deep dive and this comparison of outdoor businesses and emotional pricing, emotional costing, and emotional sales. Let's get to my pitch anyway. Okay. We're here. Wow. So let's get myself settled, get the little doggy out for it to have a little wee wee, and then let's deep dive into emotional pricing, and let's see what we can get out of this deep dive. Let's see what you can take away with. Yeah. So what's the purpose of me being here? The purpose of me being here is to create a comparison between two outdoor businesses. Both offer the same services, same amenities, same, did I say that right? Amenity. Both offer the same service as such. You know, the opportunity to be outdoors, the opportunity to be in amongst the countryside, and I think the opportunity to just get away from it, because that's what people are searching for. But effectively, there's toilets available throughout the acreage of this outdoor business campsite. There's showers, there's facilities like I think there's restaurant here, there's a bar, there's which effectively is centralized, and then the acreage of people's the acreage of pitches where people can stay is kind of surrounded that. I mean, I am probably a good 20-minute walk from the center point, which is the restaurant, the games room, you know. So it's got a lot of family service here for children, which adds to that guilt expenditure, guilt purchasing, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But comparing it, you know, to Lone Wolf and Shell Island, both offer exactly the same, although these pitches here, no electricity, where Lone Wolf did, but yet Lone Wolf priced from a low belief value, where these are pricing for a high belief value in their product. And that's the bit we're going to touch on in a sec. Most people who are providing any kind of service that is directly linked from themselves or their own creation, due to a very natural ability to provide that service, whether it's coaching, influencing of some kind, even providing a skill service, anything in the construction industry, find it hard to actually price that product according to the value of what that product is worth, because many will down price due to their own worth, due to their own lack of self-worth, let me say. Then also, if you price from an overzealous ego, it can go the other way. It can very much be a price that isn't reasonable, that isn't caring to your customer. Bear with me, my dog has just wrapped a whole stretch lead around my tripod. So let me get her untangled. Hun, 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 this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay. I love bringing her, do you know what I mean? But you'd be surprised, a little dog can be more maintenance than a 2-year-old running around. And I've had children, so I get the difference. But wow. Anyhow, so let's go back there. I want to think about this. I want to think about the cost of your lack of worth. Now, let me say, when I say lack of worth, this is a very invisible influence in your business. Very invisible. What I mean by that is, when you're having to cost your services, so somebody says, okay, you know, what's your hourly rate, or what is the estimate for that job? And again, you're the skill influencer, whether it be knowledge, whether it be hands-on. You will find that immediately you'll draw on what are you worth to you. And then what you'll do is you'll also assess whether you feel that customer or client can actually afford you before you've even offered the price. So effectively you are deciding whether they can afford you or not, which comes of course from imposter syndrome. I spoke about this many times, but also a depleted value to your business. Let's go back to my stay in the Lone Wolf last week. So when I was there, the realization was that he had a concept of a business where it offers the individual to completely get out of the digital world and fall back into the basics of being outdoor, the basics of being in somewhere where you can think and not be influenced so by a cursor or a ping or a kudos or a like, but actually just be influenced by your own thoughts and the power of your own mind. And, you know, offer the services to give you that surrounding, give you that venue, and give you the basic facilities to appreciate that time in nature, but completely downvalue that cost due to the owner's, the owner's need to devalue what basics is. But then we come here, Shell Island, and this place, very much the same as I've said, acreage of land, no electricity to any part of the location where you park your van or pitch your tent. There are showers, there's toilets, I've mentioned that, and there are other facilities. But they've seen the value of what they are providing here, and that value demonstrates itself in the cost to be here. Not substantially greater than my last outdoor business I visit, the Lone Wolf, but enough so they can make money here and increase the message and increase the quality of service and keep providing that service. So that's the thing, is you've got to look at your business and look at how it is you're influencing a devalue in the cost or the invoice opportunity from your emotional depleted worth. That doesn't mean that, when we say depleted worth, that doesn't mean you don't like you, that doesn't mean you don't love you, it doesn't mean you don't have pride in your services. We have all those things. But how do you know that your emotional self-worth is actually costing the value of the life investment you put into you to be at this point where you can provide those services at the quality that you are, that you will, that you wish to, that you keep wishing to? How do you know that you are actually invoicing correctly so you can justify, or you can rekindle, I should say, the life investment that you've put in to be the person you are now. Because let's remember, when we're providing a service, we're providing the whole of us at the best that we are to that customer or client that is receiving that service from us. And to be at that point, we would have to have invested into ourselves, invested in all the growth, all the life experiences, all the skills, all the development. We invested the time, financial investment, sacrifice, let's say. Other people are investing with you. My wife is investing with me. She's investing in me to be here. So, honey, sorry for that little disruption. I had to, my little dog was eating something she shouldn't be eating. Do you know what I mean? And she's continuing to eat it, but I'm hoping that it's something that's good for her. We'll see. But how do you know what's good for you? How do you know what's good for you in what you're pricing in your business? How do you know that it's actually providing the right direction of growth? That it is actually growing the business and not feeding what is your inability to value you correctly within your business, and then project that value into the correct invoice rate to your clients and customers. So, how do we look at this? How do you measure your invoice rate to be the correct invoice rate? There's loads of ways. You know, you look at your business logistically and say, okay, I want to be at this given point financially by this time in my life, this year, 6 months' time. I'm aiming for my business to be at this point in growth for 12 months from now. And then what you do is you easily then just incorporate the right invoice rate in order for that to happen, which means you may shift from one invoice rated market to another invoice rated market, client base, customer base, in order to achieve that number, which means that's going to pull on your confidence as a business owner. Divorcing one market to go into another is very nerving for many business owners, and that's why they stay in their low income, high maintenance market. Oh, some are content there. Nothing wrong with it. I watch my father be contented at his construction business, his plastering, way of life in the construction industry all his life, and he's still there. That's what he's contented at, and there wasn't any growth in a sense of life sense, materialistic sense for him, but he's contented, so you can't be there. But that's not running a business. That's running potentially a hobby that you've turned into a business that you enjoy doing, that provides a just over broke income. That's a job, just over broke income. So in order for you to really assess whether you're charging the right invoice rate or not, you have to first of all, as I say, see your worth. It's likely that you are at least 30% under your correct invoice rate right now. If you run your own business that provides a service, whether it's in the knowledge industry, construction, or any kind of thing, in that almost one-to-one, business to customer service, you will probably be 30%. You will be rating yourself alongside other businesses that are similar, but not taking into consideration that those other businesses are in the same position as you and already probably underrating their invoice rate and are too cheap. Does that mean you're not providing value? No. You'll still provide value, but also, how can you improve the quality and the size of the business message if you're not receiving enough income to create profit to do that? That's what it's about. Does that mean that
your customers will go to someone cheaper. They'll consider someone cheaper than you, and possibly then they're not your customer. Let them go to those, and you create yourself a new market that will pay for your quality of service, so you can keep growing that, and they can keep improving and bettering the experience that they get with you, because you've been able to grow your business, because you are invoicing it correctly. You see, poor emotional invoicing rates started way before you opened your business. They were embedded in the first 10, 15 years of your life, when money may have been scarce. If it was there, you were reminded the value of it, almost like a negative. And the list is pretty endless there. So give it some thought. Give some thought to how you are emotionally pricing or down pricing or overpricing your business. You'll find a balance, because what will happen is, once you've got that alignment in place, you'll be amazed as to the quality of customer and clients that organically and naturally start supporting you in your business. Give us some thought. Happy days. You're in for a treat. So coming here, I wasn't sure whether I'd actually find the right candidate to really complement this week's message, this week's deep dive, which of course is emotional costing, emotional pricing, emotional invoicing, emotional charging, how you get that right in the first place. So I was lucky enough to find an entrepreneur here in the middle of nowhere that has a business that is so emotionally priced correct that it takes no effort for that business to be successful on an advertising and outreach budget or promotional budget in the business. Let me explain what I mean by that. You see, when your business is priced emotionally correct, then you're reaching the right customer. You're in the right market for your business, and because the integrity of that pricing, because it emotionally fits who you are, not depleted, not egotistical, fits who you are, you will find that you will be successful organically, and that the monetary return to that success comes organically also, naturally, effortlessly. So I'm going to take you into an interview that I just did here right today at this park, where I managed to gate crash what was like a circle of five camper vans, or 5 people in 5 families and friends in vans, and on there was this WM Pop Top Fitting Centre, and owned by a chap called Wayne. Actually didn't even ask his second name, and it's not even on his card. Wayne runs this business that has been going for 2 years, and he is 50% cheaper than his industry, which fits pop tops to vans. Yet, in the space of 12 months, he's gone from surviving on 2 years, sorry, in the space of 2 years, he's gone from surviving off his partner's salary and him working basically 7 days a week for nothing, to now having 14 staff employed and substantial success growth in his business, to the point where actually he said if he builds a website, he'd become too successful too quickly, and he can't do that. His customer base comes from organically from Facebook. So jump in, watch this interview. You can be amazed by how 100% accurate he has is emotional pricing, yet cheaper than industry, but enough to build a 14-person business in just 12 months with a order book that is substantially full to the point he cannot advertise, because if he does, he says he'll grow his business too quick. Do you know what I mean? It's coming up now. Well, guys, it's great to be here, and guess what? I managed a great gate crash. What seems like a massive family kind of business, kind of everybody get together, and Wayne and we have WM Pop Tops. So the reason why I wanted to jump in is because we're focusing on, outdoor life. Van life has become massive now. Everybody's here. So we have all sorts of things going on in the background, which is fab. But van life is as much as grown, it's also created a kind of deterioration in the market of quality. And you're finding that, when people are wanting to have custom vans built, the pop tops, anything, the lead time now, the wait time is massive. And then what you're seeing, Wayne, and I want to jump in on this, what we're seeing then is we're seeing surge of, I'm going to say, opportunists who've come into the industry and basically are trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
You seeing that in the industry yourself?
Yes, hell of a lot, far and wide throughout the country.
Because I'm guessing that, it's charging right, it's keeping your costs there, whilst also keeping the quality, and at the same time, how are you then able to compete with let's say, those who are obbling, those who are in the industry, say for a quick buck, who will probably come and go? How do you manage to compete with that?
We manufacture everything ourselves on site. We're an ex-marine sailing racing boat fiberglassing company, and we put the same technology into the roofs. And we've done the engineering side of it. I've been doing the conversions for 10 years, and we've just amalgamated now to do the pop tops, and we're doing the full range. Every motor out there we're doing.
Wow.
But we manufacture on site.
So what is your background? Do you say engineering?
I'm engineering. Steve, my partner, he used to make sailing racing boats, which fiberglass, lightweight and strength.
Wow.
That's where our roofs become one of their own. They're 50% lighter, 3 times stronger than most roofs on the market.
Wow. I mean, the industry has taken a kicking, and what I mean by that is that we see that it's grown, but because it's grown is what's created depletion in quality, and of course supplies and things. But you guys have switched that around, where you're creating your own product, you build your own product.
Yeah, the whole complete product is our product. We manufacture on site. We've got 4 big units where we manufacture everything.
Really?
There's 14 staff, and we sell out to the trade. We've got our own fitting centre, but we sell out all over the country, as far as Northern Ireland.
Really?
The roofs we ship them out to.
I mean, that's a consortium in itself. When you have 14 people relying on you for income, people don't get that running a business is a lonely place.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, very much. But you get used to that fear.
Yeah.
You do. I'm going to say that your business isn't just about the product you make, it's a way of life for you then.
Oh yeah, it's a way of life. There was 6 vans down here this weekend, and that's all the people that work.
Oh, really?
And our families, and
So
we use the product as well, because we've always camped and leisure. Yeah. And that's why, we decided.
So it's a lifestyle for you then.
Yes.
Wow. So you went into the business then out of a desire to make a quality that wasn't out there, or just because you liked the industry?
I was doing the campers for 10 years, and then doing the campers, I finding it harder and harder and harder to get the roofs done.
Yeah.
And I looked at the product. I knew I could improve the hinges, so we've designed our own hinges.
Yeah.
I knew the van's inside out. Steve knows the fiberglassing development side of it.
Yeah.
So we put our 2 heads together and says, let's do it.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this?
We started the structure of it about 3 years ago. We started fitting them in trial stages about 2.5 years ago, and we've been running now nearly 2 years.
You have, eh? And I'm guessing that in the last 2 years then, your business has grown substantially because of the lead time or the wait list for people of wanting pop tops.
Yeah, it's grew drastically. The fitting centre, we're always booked. trade, our roofs are being fitted by other companies
Oh,
under
really?
their name.
Oh wow! So you're selling out,
Yes.
or so you're a production line as
Yeah.
well as a fitting company
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Wow! Yeah, I mean, what I have here obviously is a AAA type personality. Let me explain what that is. When you're AAA type personality, you never stop. You never stop, and you're always going from one idea to the next, to the next, to the next. That's
Yeah.
a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, you know, I see the people that you have around you. I'm guessing you have a really good support system there.
Oh, we've got a really good team. Got
Yeah.
an unbelievable team.
It's not, and if I had a shout, I'd say, does he look after you guys? Do you know what I mean? As a boss, I mean, everybody's nodding you. I mean, they don't have to by any stretch. But you know what? When you're prepared to come out and spend time with the people that matter to
Yeah.
you, that mean, and you'll get 40% extra out of everybody
Yeah.
because of what you're giving
Everybody's
out there.
proud of the product.
Yeah.
No matter from the owners to the manufacturing to the fitting, everybody's proud of the product. And
Yeah.
everybody's looking to improve
Oh wow.
all the way through. We
So
never stop.
where do you see the industry going in? And what I mean, because you know, there's only so many ways you can skin a cat.
Yeah.
And so when we have a pop-up, you know, effectively the peripheral of what a pop-up looked like is the same.
Yeah.
Although mine and the bongo is broke down. Do you know what I mean? I can't get mine up. I got a bongo.
The leisure and the camper industry's always been there.
Yeah.
COVID has quadrupled it.
Mm-hmm.
When COVID finishes, there will still be a big industry out there
Yeah.
for the people that are good.
Ah, yes, I see where we are. So where are you based? I mean, here we are again. So WM Pop Tops. Where are you based?
Staffordshire, Birtwood, Staffordshire.
Oh, okay. Now, geographically, I'm not good with these things. My wife was
Birmingham.
here. She would have me straight away because she's been all over the country for sure.
North of Birmingham.
North of Birmingham,
North of
mate.
Birmingham.
I'm not good with accents either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've travelled all over and I still can't get accents. But so we are going through this phase, as you say, of COVID, and we're going through a crazy growth
Yeah.
in the van world. I'm going to say almost it's unhealthy
Yeah, it's,
because at some point it's got to stop.
Yeah.
It's like when COVID, the biking industry grew, they say over 1,000% and actually drained the industry of resources, and now the industry has collapsed.
yeah.
You know, do you see it, you know, with the van industry, it's gone through such a surge, such a vast growth period. Do you see that could crash?
The industry as it is at the minute, how it's booming at the minute, COVID, boom, that'll crash and die a little bit, it'll all drop down, but the long term after it, it'll be there because people that have started with the little cheap vans and this
Yeah,
that
yeah.
and the other, as they've realised this is a way of life and I love this way of life,
Yeah.
will want to progress to a newer van, to a newer different model, it will always be there. It will always be there, the industry.
Do you find that because of the growth, it's almost had an opportunity to greedily outprice itself?
Yes.
Do you
And that's
see
where
that?
we're the cheapest in the country.
Do you know what? I'm part of me almost got emotional with the yes you give then because you meant that.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen a surge of van designers or van fitters that our prices are so far out of reach
Yeah.
that it's kind of ridiculous and not fair.
Yeah. Our roofs start at £2,000 fitted,
Wow.
supplied and fitted.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And when you look everywhere else,
Yeah.
around the 50%, if
Yeah,
not
yeah.
more, cheaper we are than anybody in the
And
country.
why have you not taken advantage of that then?
There's no need. And we're not busy fools.
Let me just say that again. See, I asked you why you haven't taken advantage of that, and you answered to me there's no need.
There's no need.
I'm guessing that you're building a business for quality of life.
Yeah.
You know, evidently when we build a business because we want lifestyle freedom, financial independence,
Yeah.
and all those things that come with it, and we want our children to benefit from it, our
Yeah.
grandchildren,
Yeah.
wherever it may be there. But you're doing it in a way where it also keeps integrity
Yeah.
into the industry.
And we want to grow with our name and the product, and there's no need for greed. If you grow in and watch, there's no need for greed. The industry will, my gut is the industry will always be there.
Yeah.
There don't need to be a fast cash. We want to be long term.
Wayne, it's hard to find people like you in business. I mean, I've been traveling the world for 19 years and got to speak to some amazing business people over the years, and some with more money than we can ever dream
Yeah.
of. But here's the thing. They're all searching for one thing, and that's integrity and authenticity, which obviously you have by the bucket load. Are these people your family, your friends, your work colleagues here today wouldn't be giving you the time,
No,
for sure. So tell me, how do we get hold of, I'm going to say again because I have to pop tops, how do we get hold of, so it's Wayne who's the M.
no, West Midlands Pop Tops.
West Midlands, is
West
that? I thought there was a
Midlands.
Wayne in there
No,
somewhere.
no. West Midland Pop Tops. We're on Facebook. And that's all we advertise on is Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, website?
No, we're too scared to get too big.
Wow, let me just draw in on that. So everybody's shop window is a website, effectively. So you're making all your business from, let's do two things here, organic, which is word of mouth.
Yep.
Do you have business cards?
They have business cards, but the other business cards go out to when people come to us and we hand them
Oh,
out.
so you effectively are not networking then?
Nope. The only network we are doing this year, we're doing Camper Jam. That'll be our first network. We're doing Camper Jam.
Wow. I really want time to just digest this because, you know, Wayne, it's not very often that I meet a successful entrepreneur, because I'm going to say that because, you know, you are in the SME world of business. There are over a dozen people relying on you for what is their way of life. Hey, say, Coy, man, I've gate crashed your party. Do you know what I mean? I do apologise. The noises, but if we can't bear the noise of children, what can we bear? Do you know what I mean? It's hugely important. But you know, you're taking an industry, or you're taking a portion of the industry, and you're maintaining that integrity.
Yeah.
And above all, you know, you're doing it with a desire for people to enjoy and be able to afford to enjoy what it is to provide.
Yeah.
You know, that's hard to find in the business world. And I just want to, you know, applaud you, because you know you won't get it, and you're the sort of man who obviously doesn't take compliments very quickly. But I want to say that thank the business world that you're in the business world, because there's a lot of people that's going to benefit from what you're doing in their quality lives. And you know, we're not there just to make our husbands or wives and our friends happy. You know, there's going to be children, grandchildren, great grandchildren who are going to get great experiences from the services you provide. So Wayne, where do you see your business going now?
Hopefully up and onwards.
What do you call up and onwards? Is that where...
To grow. We want to keep it as tight as a nice little family thing, like where it's a unit and we're all a good team. And just get bigger in the industry, as in more trade, more ones going out the door. Because the fitting centre, we opened the fitting centre, basically, we was selling to the trade anyway. We opened the fitting centre to constantly keep improving our product.
Yeah.
Because if we're fitting it daily, we can look how we can improve and improve and improve.
I love that. I want to come back to the quality in a sec, but you know, I kind of steered away from the fact that you don't have a website.
No.
And that's such a big statement. The only business I've worked with in the past, and it was a good 4 or 5 mil turnover business in the SME world, and he never, you know, it was a customized sheet metal business. Worked abroad, international business, never give out the business card, and a pretty clumsy website, but you have no website, and you only give business cards when people actually experience the services.
Yeah.
Now let's just, and I want to look into this, okay, because I doubt you've ever really given yourself any credit for that, for the fact you've grown a business from a Facebook account with no website, which tells you people are attracted to your authenticity. People are attracted.
When they speak to us and we invite them down to our manufacturing centre.
Now you just took me right away from that compliment. You just cleverly said, well, let me just come back with that, because it's important. It's important to understand when you run a business and doesn't invest a huge substantial amount of that profit into advertising, and is because they're attracted to what you are doing in that business, the authenticity and integrity you and your team are providing. That is hard to find.
They meet everybody down there, they look at the products. Because I always say to people, you're spending £2,000, it's a lot of money that you're spending. Come down and have a look at our product. We'll show you all the vans, we'll show you the manufacturing centre where the roofs are being made. You'll see every part of the product.
Yeah.
Then make your mind up.
Wow. Tell me again, how do we find you?
Facebook, WM Pop Top Fitting Centre.
It's not just brilliant. That is it, Facebook. I mean, it is. And we're going to be this is going to go out on Facebook, so it's going to be so easy to find you there, Wayne, for sure. Now, I want to jump in because you've got a business partner.
Yep, Steve.
We're going to get Steve in because Steve is like, he's the chap that helps with the design of the manufacturing.
Yeah, the manufacture of all the roofs and the structure that goes into there.
Okay, let's do that. So we're just going to take a quick cut here and then Steve is going to come in. So Steve, thank you for coming on and you know, and sorry about the mic, it looks like you got something that's emigrated. Yeah. Okay. So you're a big part of the design in the business.
Yes.
Tell me what part that is.
Basically, my background is building racing sailing boats. So
Now that must have been an industry to be in because that's big money industry.
it is, and then COVID came along. Brexit first, then COVID, and basically killed the small boat industry, not the big boat industry,
really?
but the small boat industry. And then Wayne came up the yard, asked if we could make a pop top, which we made one, and then we just from there we went into that was a short wheelbase Vivaro, and then we basically cut the roof in half, extended it so you can do the long wheelbase, and then we went into basically all the ranges.
Wow. Well, I think it's wonderful when two people get together that synergize, you know, have the same want, the same desire to provide a quality product. Now, it's very clear you're not used to talking about yourself. And who are you with today?
I'm here with me girlfriend, where she's gone. There she is. My daughter, my brother, all the lads at
So
work.
that you've gone into this business, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you part of the business now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so your girlfriend is, or wife, did you say?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. So you have a good support system then, because you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
when you go into working for yourself and being part of running your own business, there's a risk factor to it. And as I said to Wayne, it's a lonely place because there's a lot of pressure there, and going home and being able to talk about that is not easy either, because you know my wife has been running the business with me for 19 years, and you know, we're in the business together, but it's a lot of emotional work running a business.
Yeah.
And you know, so suddenly you see your gift going into what you're building and designing, but also behind that, you've got to keep stretching yourself all the time. You've got to come up with new ideas and new ways, and do you thrive on that?
Yeah, it's like when we first started doing the roofs, every roof we do, we improve on. Every design we do, we improve on.
Look at this bit. Yeah.
So we can keep moving on. It's like at the moment we're just developing the T4 roof.
Mm-hmm.
We do the T5, T6, we do the Vivaros, Nissan Prime Stars. We just started designing the roof for boxers, crafters.
Yeah, I see this on there. I mean, not only was I attracted to the name, but I see it there and I think, wow, man.
And then we're just in the middle of developing the T4 two-piece roof, which nobody's ever done a two-piece roof for the T4.
Really?
We did think at one point that the T4 was not worth doing, if you like, because there's not that many of them around.
Yeah.
But looking through all the Facebook forums and that, it's now becoming, the T4 is almost getting the cult status of the split screen and the bay window. So in the next 3-4 weeks we'll have that up and running.
Here it is. You see, the moment you start talking about what you love, we can't get you to stop. That's the boot. Now that's what tells me that you are, you know, that Steve, you are hugely passionate.
Yes, yeah.
About what and you love it.
Yeah.
As much as you love your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's a boot, man. I see you. She's a boot. You know, and I just want to throw that in because here's the thing: is my wife asked me once how much you love me. I said more than food. She knew that was a hell of a lot because I love food. You know what I mean? But you know, it's as I said Wayne, it's a very saturated industry. Yeah. And going in there has a risk factor because you've got to keep that longevity, you know, within the industry. But do you feel there's a lot of room for still improvement and still redesign within the industry?
Massively. If you see a lot of the roofs, I mean, we've taken roofs off people's vans who've had them fitted and replaced them for ours, and anyone can fiberglass.
Yeah.
Anyone can fiberglass, but there's very few people who can do it properly. So if you have a look at some of the roofs where there's massive amount of timber in there,
Yeah.
when you're sitting in the van at night and you're breathing, you get condensation in the roof,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
rots
yeah.
the wood.
Yeah.
All our roofs are made with a material called Armacell, which is recycled pop bottles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
so-
you're a green company and all, eh?
Yes, yeah, very much so, yeah.
Wow.
It makes them a lot lighter but a lot stronger. And also, there's very little timber in the roof.
Yeah.
So you don't get any rotting of the timber in the roof. A lot of the roofs that we've taken
Yeah.
off are massively heavy compared to ours. So you think you're dragging that up and down the
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
motorway all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time, you're using more fuel.
I love this thought process that's gone into this. I actually am going to say the extra thought process
Yeah.
that's gone into this. You know, Steve, it's been such a pleasure. I'm just going to get Wayne back in to talk about the business before we finish. I could see him pulling the face, but I'm going to get him back in here. But thank you. No, thank you very much. So Wayne, I want to first of all thank you for your time, Gatecrash and your partner and things. But let me ask you, just for all the young entrepreneurs and business minds coming through in our country, you know, we have a lot of young people that really have good intentions in running their own business. You know, how long have you been at this, in the sense of running your own business?
Running this one, realistically, the 2 years just how we've been running.
But before that?
Before that, I've done bits on my own.
Yeah, yeah.
I've tried bits
Yeah.
and I've done okay, but I've always wanted to do something that I loved, and this is.
So if you were a young 20-year-old sitting here and says, you know, when I want to run my own business, what would your advice be to him or her?
Don't borrow no money and try it.
Yeah, really? Go for it.
Yeah, but don't borrow.
Don't borrow money.
No, just try it. Make sure you've got the expense to do it and you can afford to try.
Yeah.
What are you going to lose?
I love that, because so many people feel they have to, you know, get a lump of cash to actually get in there, when you're saying, well, you know, do it on a shoestring.
Yep.
And then make your way up. So
Yep.
so for you then, surplus, cash is important, yeah.
Cash is important when you get to the level we're at now. Prior to it, at the beginning, my partner was earning £800 a month and I was living off her money.
Oh, wow.
Because I was putting every penny and all my time, 7 days a week, 24 hours into this. You've got to put the time and dedication in to get the rewards after.
Who's your partner here today?
Steve. Oh, my partner, Jodie.
Okay. So she supported you. How long did she support you for, do you think, financially?
A good 12 months.
Really?
Yeah, we was scratching,
Yeah.
But I knew he'd do it. I said, trust me, it'll do
There it is, the belief.
Yeah.
And you know, the belief that I'm guessing you had to really pull on, really asked a lot of your family and yourself then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, when you do run a business, even when you've gone into an industry as saturated as this, it still takes that emotional commitment.
Yeah.
And asks a lot of you.
Yeah. And it's a lot when you start, as you're getting bigger and you're employing people and you're paying wages out, it gets harder then, because you've got to make sure it keeps there, because the one thing I'll never want to do is lay somebody off.
Oh yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah. So do you think the business, in the sense of, is at a manageable size now, or
we're manageable, and that's why we won't go web to be too big.
I love the fact you can't do a website because it grow your business too fast.
Yeah. Scary.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's scary.
Absolutely.
If you grow too quick, it'll...
Yeah. You know, Wayne, this has been a really profound conversation, because of where we are and what I'm covering this weekend was, you know, the outdoors and all kinds of things. But meeting someone, well, it was a bonus to get to meet someone with the kind of authenticity you have in business.
If you're ever down Ireland, I'll give you the card. If you're down Ireland,
please
call in, come round the manufacturing centre.
Actually, I would love to do that. I'd love to call down, bring my kit to me, and we do like a couple of hours round, just to, you know, get people to understand the quality of process you guys are doing. And more so than anything else, do you know what? I see over a dozen good hearts here.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find, my friend, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It truly is. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Happy days. So, it's pack-up day today at Shell Island. We've been here 3 days, a couple of nights.
And what we learn? So I came here really wanting to experience what one of the biggest outdoor camping facilities in Wales, and probably this country as a whole, offers. And to really get to understand how they base their emotional value, the emotional costing of their business, how they measure that. And I suppose measuring that against, as you said, the outdoor camping facility I went last week, which was the Lone Wolf. You know, in some way they're very similar. They both have the same stretches as a business. They both have the same risks. Well, no, this has a different risk. I mean, Lone Wolf is basically a family-run business with just mum, dad, and children. Where this family-run business, this Shell Island, was purchased by the great-great-grandparents, and there's been passed down from generation to generation, and the whole family unit, 4 directors, parents, sons, and then grandchildren are coming through as managers, and they'll be coming through as directors in time. But this is on a huge scale, but still focusing on emotional costing. Their emotional costing is based on how much profit they can make by the end of the year to take the risk to actually reinvest into business through one, the loan, you know, the help from the bank, but also what they've made to increase the quality and a quality of footprint for those coming in. They have a niche here. There's no hard pack stands. Basically, it's quality in the pitch, meaning that you just come and say select your own pitch. It's just such a vast, huge place. So what we've learned is there are lots of ways to emotionally price your product, but people purchase the value of you. Now let's look at the interview I did with Wayne from West Midlands Pop Tops. 50% cheaper than anybody else in the market as such, but yet his product is of a substantial quality compared to what's out there at twice the price. And he is a very successful business, SME world, say employing 14 people. But what he's done, he's created a cost for his product that sits clearly aligned, with emotional investment that he put in his life for that business to be successful. So it's not about overpricing, it's not underpricing, it's about value pricing, emotional value pricing, because he's got that right. Because he understands the value of what he's worth. And having that right means that 14 other people in his business have got a great quality of life from that also. And then we look at here, Shell Island. I say it's not a great deal more than the Lone Wolf camping business. Yes, it's a lot bigger, it's vast. But their investment, their cost, their fee is so they can emotionally add more value to the people that come here, year in, year out. Watch out next week because, or I might throw it out there earlier, I got to interview one of the part owners of Shell Island. And he gave me a deep dive on, you know, the pros and cons, the ups and downs and the celebrations and the risks of running this vast outdoor camping business. So yeah, Richard Workman, watch out for that. We'll be sharing that interview. But in the meantime, enjoy who you are, understand the value of you to get the emotional pricing of your product, your business, your services, absolutely aligned for the success of who you are. Okay, so that's the end of this little venture. Next week we're going to be visiting another business, another area in the country, and I'm bringing to you values, philosophies and great ideas that can help you run, grow and be your lifestyle business. So yeah, if you like these videos, you like what you're getting out of it, subscribe below, please. Leave a comment, like, and above all, save the file. Save it into a folder, because I say this every time you listen to the interviews and listen to the philosophies, you will get something else out of it as you grow. The videos will keep adding into your idea values in your business. So let's get this girl started. Oh, bless her, eh? Yeah. Sometimes she's a not quite first time, do you know what I mean? 22-year-old, that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, let's get ourselves, give us a couple of seconds, and happy days. Enjoy who you are.